something there yesterday. Larry's Pawn and Gun. It is owned by Joey Coker, a member of Grassroots America and a charter board member. It is at 1800 South Jackson Street in Jacksonville, Texas. Joey is one fine entrepreneur, and he is a patriot. So I'm advertising for Joey Coker today, and I've got some of his cards. And I will tell you, he gave me one fine price on a Ruger. So you all please do business with a friend of liberty and a friend of grassroots, Joey Cokers.
Thank you, JoAnn. I'm happy to introduce our speaker today, Oscar Martinez. He's a retired Border Patrol and Immigration officer. He spent 35 years in law enforcement, 20 with the Border Patrol, 3 years Border Patrol Special Agent investigating human and narcotics trafficking, 7 years Senior Special Agent investigating organized crime, and 5 years Police Sergeant. He's done many things since. He was a criminal justice instructor, and he also served time in Afghanistan, training U.S. soldiers in the Afghan border police. And he is a patriot and a very fine person, and I'm happy to introduce you. He's also going to give us something, as I think you said, on the sheriff's responsibilities. Okay, please give a warm welcome to Oscar Martinez.
First off, can y'all hear me okay? Yes. Okay. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure being here. And I always get a little nervous when I get in front of people. So excuse me if I start stuttering a little bit. As he stated, I spent 35 years in law enforcement. 20 of that was with the Border Patrol. I was also a Border Patrol instructor at the Border Patrol Academy. I worked just about everything Border Patrol had at that time. Nowadays, Border Patrol has been divided so much that I would say 30–40% of the personnel in Border Patrol do not do Border Patrol work. They are assigned to other duties, that their function as Border Patrol agents is not there. And that's one of the reasons also we don't have enough personnel on the border. But before I continue with that, I believe there's a sheriff here. Nice meeting you, sir. Did you know that you have the utmost authority of the whole state? Did you know that that was decided by the Supreme Court? That also that the governor cannot tell you and infringe upon your rights, including Mr. Obama. Therefore, you have the utmost authority. Whether people realize it or not, the sheriffs have the authority to ask any federal officer that comes to his county, what are you doing here? You tell me, what do you want? And as well as, if you want to, you can tell them anytime you come to my county to do anything, you will report to me. You do have that authority. The judge, the Justice Antonin Scalia, he even stated in the Compound Republic of America, the power surrendered by the people is first divided between two distinct governments, and then the portion allotted to each subdivided among distinct and separate departments. Hence, a double security arises to the rights of the people. That is, the federal government cannot impose things on us. Totally. that different governments will control each other at the same time that each will be controlled by itself. In other words, county sheriff is the highest governmental authority in his county, and he does not have to bow to the tyranny of the federal government if he deems such actions to be unconstitutional or unlawful. In essence, the county sheriff has more legal authority within his county than the governor or the state or even the President of the United States. And if you notice, I have pleasure in saying I have met Mr. JoAnn in Phoenix, because I used to work over there as well. He's an outstanding gentleman who hasn't buckled down to the federal government. Every step of the way he's been fighting it. Why? Because one of the county that he is a sheriff of, Maricopa County, has one of the highest illegal aliens in criminal ratio, and all of it being committed by illegal aliens. As she stated a little while ago, today the House of Representatives, this was on January the 14th, the House of Representatives listened to you and took bold conservative action. The House voted 236 to 191 to block President Obama's unilateral executive amnesty plan. This is a conservative victory to be proud of, but we cannot rest there. You're probably thinking, well, how's it possible that a Hispanic is over here talking about immigration? Believe you me, I live in Pittsburgh. And I don't know how many times I have been asked by some of the local citizenry there, what part of Mexico are you from? You know, I kind of feel kind of bad because I right away tell them, not because a person is of this color means that he's from Mexico. I was born in Texas and proud of it. My parents were born in Texas and proud of it. My father was a World War II veteran. He was a POW in a German prison camp. I'm a Vietnam veteran and proud of it. Even though they did not accept us that way when we came back, we were spat upon, cussed at, called murderers, rapists, child killers, but we survived it. And we're proud of it, that we were able to do something for our country. Now, as I was reading this, one of the things that we need to be aware of, just because they went ahead and they passed this doesn't mean that something is going to take place. We need to be vigilant. One of the things, the bill now heads to the Senate where it faces more of a battle. Several Republican senators are hesitant to overturn the president's amnesty plan. Heritage Action is prepared to go full throttle on this issue, so we need to give them our support. I guarantee you, everybody here today, I don't think there is a single person here that can tell me that they are anti-immigrant. We're not anti-immigrant. We're anti-illegal immigrants. There is what the news media fails to see our point of view. We welcome immigrants. The country was built on immigrants. But you know what the thing is? When those immigrants were coming in legally, they loved this country. The first thing that they would do was to assimilate, get with the community, learn English. If necessary, thousands of them changed their names so they could be more acceptable. They never asked, what is the country going to give me? They were always putting into the country. That is not what is happening right now. My wife, she thinks more about illegal immigration than I do. My wife was born in Mexico. She had to wait 5 years to get her proper documentation, her and her family, in order to come to the United States. They came in 1964. That's when I met her. And guess where I met her? At church. So we met in 1964. 5 years they waited to come in, legally. Right away they went to school to learn English. Right away they started assimilating, getting with the community, be part of the community. Is that happening right now? No. If you all read about the state of Michigan, most of the state of Michigan right now is being taken over by Muslims, to the point that they want Sharia law to be implemented there. These are the type of illegal aliens and migrants that we're receiving right now. They want to change our country. That is not the way it works. Anyone here, go to Mexico. Get the U.S. flag and wave it over there. See what the heck happens to you. I guarantee you, you're going to be in jail. And once you get in there, they're going to beat the heck out of you. And they're going to teach you a lesson. Yet, our present administration wants us to open our arms and receive everybody that's coming in without checking who in the heck they are. When I came into Border Patrol in 1975, there were only 2,000 of us nationwide. We still had to control 2,000 miles of southern border. We had to control the northern border, the west coast, and the east coast. We also had investigators in the country. We did a wondrous job. However, this problem that we're having here is not unique in a sense that we have had similar problems during the Border Patrol history. For instance, all of you remember President Carter? Okay? Right after President Carter was elected, he went ahead and appointed as Commissioner of U.S. Immigration, he was known by that name at that time, a person by the name of Leonel Castillo. Anybody remembers that? First Hispanic ever. What's interesting about that is that his parents were illegal aliens. And he hated Border Patrol. He hated us. The first thing on his agenda was to cut our fuel consumption. At that time, I was working in Lordsburg, New Mexico, Border Patrol station there, right off I-10. From Lordsburg to the border was 100 miles one way, 200-mile round trip without patrolling, just to go over there and come back. 10 gallons was not enough. They were giving us 10 gallons per vehicle per shift. That's all we could use. Why? Because Mr. Leonel Castillo stated that the Border Patrol was inflating the apprehension numbers and that we did not have an illegal alien problem. Isn't that what's happening right now also? We don't have a problem. It's here in our heads. We don't have illegal aliens. Well, at that time, that's what they did. In order for our apprehensions to go down. No fuel, no patrolling, no arrest, right? It's just like the sheriff here. If the sheriff wants, he's brought on by the county and they say, hey, you're having too many arrests, we're having too many complaints of all these people you're stopping. Let's say speeders. You're giving too many tickets. Well, the sheriff may go ahead and tell his men, hey, quit down, quit. Well, don't give that many tickets, break it down. So they go ahead and only issue 25% of what they used to issue before. The first thing they're going to say, see, we don't have a speeding problem. That's not what happened, is it? All you're doing is concealing it. Well, the same thing that El Castillo wanted to do with us. He wanted us to show that we were not apprehending the aliens. Why? We couldn't be patrolling the border. That is exactly what Obama has done to our agents right now. He has shut them down. They have stand them down. They have been told not to go after illegal aliens. But let's look at what's happening right now that the president is doing, amnesty. How many are here are in approval of amnesty? I'm glad to see there's no hands. Now, what is amnesty? According to Mr. Webster, he states an act of granting a pardon to a group of people. To a group of people. Well, it happens that this amnesty covers one big, large group. Nobody knows exactly how many. Obama came out and stated 5 million. Do you believe that? After 30 years on the border and work in immigration, I can tell you there is no way anybody can come out and tell you this is how many illegal aliens are in the country. There's no way. Just like a lot of times they ask, well, how many aliens are being apprehended and how many are being missed? You said you've been in the border for 4 years, you said? No. Or where did you? Yeah. Okay. Has anybody told you over there that they're apprehending 90% of the illegal aliens? Or that they're missing 20% of the illegal aliens? There is no way you can count the amount of aliens coming across the United States. There is no way. Down in New Mexico, where I spent 5 years at, the only thing separating the United States and Mexico, you know what it is, sir? 5 strand. But you know what though? The ranchers and all that around here, they maintain their fences. The government doesn't maintain their fences. You could go over there and push it with your hand. Those wooden poles were all rotted out. You could drive across. That is what's keeping them back. Ridiculous, isn't it? Yet we're sending billions of dollars to foreign countries that hate us. But yet we cannot secure the border. A lot of the government officials say, well, there's no way to secure it. Yes, there is. You can secure it if you want to. The problem is they don't. Now, according to some of the figures that the government has been throwing out, is they say there's 10 to 15 million illegal aliens here in the United States, and that's how many are going to be affected by amnesty. Okay? I like that. You know why? It's a bunch of bull. Why? Even if I were to agree, yes, we do have 10 to 15 million. Once these people are granted amnesty, they are legally in the country. Therefore, now they can go ahead and apply for all of these freebies. Isn't that amazing? Not only that, but let's say 10 million. Don't forget about the 15 million. Let's go 10 million. Once they are granted amnesty, according to the present administration, families cannot be separated. So what do you think is going to happen, sir?
More come and go.
Well, let's say you're here illegally. You're one of them, one of those 10 million. You're granted amnesty as per the directives of the present administration. We cannot separate the family. Your family is in Timbuktu. You got a wife. You got like 4 or 5 kids. So what do you think is going to happen to them? They're going to be able to come over. So if you were to multiply those 10 million by at least 5, the families in Mexico are very big, okay? They're more than 5. So multiply it by that amount. And they're going to be here legally. They're going to be able to apply for food stamps, subsidized housing. Our schools are already crowded. They will be more crowded. Okay? So where is that money coming from? The government? No, we are the government. It's coming from us. You know, one of the things that the president has been saying is Obama claims illegal immigrants do not burden. They do not burden the taxpayers. How many are in agreement with that? Oh, come on. Nobody's in agreement with it? President Barack Obama claimed that illegal immigrants do not burden taxpayers and are not a drain on public resources. In an interview with National Public Radio, Obama also slammed and dismissed those who are concerned about the negative impact that illegal immigration often has on American workers, U.S.-born and legal immigrants. If you are concerned that somehow illegal immigrants are a drain on resources and forcing, Americans to pay for services for these folks, well, every study shows that's just not the case. Now, how many believe that? After everything he has been saying time and time again, we're going to believe what he's saying. Obama claimed generally these folks don't use a lot of services. And my executive action specifically is crafted so that they are not a drain on taxpayers. Instead, they're going to be paying taxes, and we can make sure that they are. This one here, December 29, 2014. Just last month. He came out and said this. However, it says a comprehensive study done by Center for Immigration Studies found that the households headed by illegal immigrants were more likely to be on welfare programs than those headed by U.S.-born Americans or legal immigrants, which means that U.S.-born children of illegal immigrants were more likely to be in poverty and dependent on government. In Texas, 58% of the households headed by illegal immigrants are on a welfare program. In California and Illinois, 55% were. The report found that nationally illegal immigrants and their U.S.-born children account for 9.9% of all persons in poverty, compared to their 4.9% share of national total population. Furthermore, illegal immigrants negatively impact wages, especially those of low-income Americans attempting to climb the economic ladder. So we see that it does have an impact. Now here it says that Texas carries a pretty good burden. Why? Texas is one of the 4 states that has the most illegal immigrants. According to the latest report, analysis of the latest census data indicates Texas illegal immigrant population is costing the state taxpayers more than, how much will you say, sir? How much will you say? $4.7 billion. That's just the state of Texas. Okay? The population is costing the state taxpayers more than $4.7 billion per year for education, medical care, and incarceration. However, we really don't know how many illegal aliens are incarcerated. Why? Most of the law enforcement departments never ask them if they're illegals or not. Do you all ask them, sir? So we don't know, do we? We really do not know the cost and the percentile of illegal aliens that are incarcerated and committing crimes. Even if the estimated tax contributions of illegal aliens, which they figure to be roughly $1 billion, subtracted, net outlay still amounts to more than $3.7 billion per year for the state of Texas. The annual fiscal burden amounts to about $725 per Texas household. So thank you. We're assisting them. Every single one of us. So do we have a problem? Yes, we do. One of the things that we have also seen during this present administration is that under Obama's watch, is that the job picture is brighter. It means that the administration is more concerned about illegals being employed than our own U.S. citizens. Under the Obama administration, this one is October last year. Under the Obama administration, immigrants have fared better at finding jobs than the native born. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics data, it indicates that as of August 2012, over 1.7 million immigrants found jobs during Obama's term, while only 418,000 native borns did. That's less than 50%, about 35%. It's amazing. So we see that apparently our administration is more concerned about illegal aliens coming to this country and taking control. Matter of fact, I was just reading a news release this morning where Senator Pelosi from California,
Congressman.
she's fixing to recommend a Muslim to be in the Intelligence Committee. That's what we need, don't we? That's great. And then while I was speaking about all this money that is being paid by Texas to illegal immigrants, remember when they came out with Obamacare? Oh, no illegal aliens are going to be able to get into this program, right? Wrong. Like I said, just about everything Mr. Obama has been saying, he takes a bang. There's a fork. Thousands of illegal immigrants enrolled in Obamacare. September 23rd, 2014. Thousands of them. According to this, states that 115,000 persons enrolled in Obamacare had not provided proof of citizenship. So instead of disenrolling them, they went ahead and gave them a 6-month reprieve. They can keep on getting the insurance and giving you 6 months to see what type of identification you can provide to us. But they're still being allowed to have insurance. Yet we have hundreds of thousands of U.S. citizens who have lost their insurance and are paying, a lot of them that I know, a dentist friend of mine in Pittsburgh, they went ahead and disenrolled him in his insurance, and now in order for him to get new insurance, it's going to cost him double. So, where is that money going to? This. So all these illegals can get all these benefits. The other thing is, and now don't blame the messenger, okay? Don't be mad at it. But did you know, all of us file income tax, right? Y'all do, right? Okay. We have to provide Social Security numbers, have to provide, everything that they require of us to file our income tax, right? Did you know illegal aliens can pick up the phone, call IRS, and say, I need an identification number? IRS knows this. They know they have a problem, but they don't want to fix it. They'll call them, I need an IRS number so I can file my income tax. The vast majority of the illegal aliens, they work for cash, so they're just going to put down, I made so much. The kicker on this is that once they get this IRS number, they can go ahead and claim all of their kids and wife residing in Mexico, and they're going to be able to get the child refund credit, which I don't know, anybody knows how much the child refund credit is this year? $1,500, $1,600 a piece, something like that. So let's say they had 5, they're getting a chunk of money. Last year alone, according to records, over $2 billion was given to them. Given to them. IRS has known about this problem for several years. They have not done anything to stop it. Why should they? It's not their money. It's our money. And all they'll do is increase our taxes. Didn't they go up the first of the year? Or at least the one that I got, it sure did. The percentile went up. And then we have one of the worst things that I can imagine, and that is Border Patrol agents are being threatened. They cannot speak, they cannot say anything to anybody especially the news media. Border Patrol agents threatened with criminal charges for speaking to reporters. Their rights are being taken. They can't say exactly what's taking place. Why? They're afraid they're going to lose their jobs, or being afraid that charges are going to file against them. So we are living in a bad state right now. Now, one of the things that I was reading about is that a lot of the criminals are being released from jail. Did you all release them? Did you? I think over 60-something thousand were released into our communities because the government stated that we did not have any reason to hold them. So we are having a lot of problems. Let me read this here. One of the things that I wanted to mention also a little while ago, when I mentioned about the Border Patrol being told to stand down, the Vice President of the National Border Patrol Council, the union that represents the nation's Border Patrol agents, Sean Moran, stated that agents are being ordered to stand down and end any pursuit of drug smugglers, human smugglers, and illegal aliens. Moran said the reason given by the administration are budgetary concerns and to ensure agents aren't working long shifts. Well, they really are worried about agents working long shifts. They might get hurt. It doesn't matter whether it's drugs, bodies, or how large the group is. Our agents are being ordered to stand down by Border Patrol management. I have received reports from our agents in every single sector from San Diego to the Rio Grande Valley in Texas that they are receiving these orders. Now, when they stand down, what's going to happen to the apprehensions? They're going to go down. Now we have a secure border. That's a good way of doing it, isn't it? You don't have anybody doing the job. You don't have no report generated. Nobody's reporting the illegal aliens are being apprehended. So, our border's secure. Nobody's coming across. That's what the administration wants us to believe. As I stated, I worked at Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California border. It's a sieve. People come across everywhere. There's no way that they can stop them because we don't have any barriers. The fences that they've been putting up, as soon as they put them up, the smugglers are cutting them down using torches on the Mexican side. And there's nothing the agents can do. So we do have a problem. Not only are the agents are being told to stand down, according to Border Patrol officials, they stated, when all these kids were coming across, Border Patrol officials are swamped by the number of minors crossing illegally into the United States and frustrated that they cannot turn away known Mexican gang members. And I've been told this by quite a few of my friends that are in the Border Patrol. They said they don't care. Even though we know they're gang members, we still have to let them in. We still have to allow them into the country. And then we have our administration telling us, oh, no terrorists have come across the border. That's a bunch of bull. How do they know? If they're telling the agents not to do anything, how do they know? How could they come out and tell us this? Are we that stupid? Are we dumb that we do not understand? This is what frustrates me. Years ago, we used to do our job. But now with this present administration, all it is deceive, lie, in order to achieve their ends. Y'all remember, and some of you probably at DPS, when y'all were, are y'all still at the border? Okay. All of those kids, all of those families who were coming across. Remember, they were sent to various locations. Quite a few of them were sent to New Mexico, Artesia, New Mexico. I know because both of my sons are ICE officers. And believe you me, they're frustrated. Both of them being talking to me and saying, you know, it's getting to the point that we may go ahead and just quit and go to another law enforcement agency. He says, our hands are tied. We can't do anything. We cannot even raise our voice to them. Otherwise, they foul on us. Well, remember, all of these families, all of these minors were coming across, and they said, well, we don't have accommodations to keep them, so we're going to go ahead and give them a date for them to show up and go before the immigration judge so their case can be heard. Fine and dandy. But in my experience, I have found that anytime you tell an illegal alien to show up for a court hearing and turn them loose, do you think they're going to show up? Over 70%. An official with the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement revealed that about 70% of the immigrant families the Obama administration had released into the U.S. never showed up weeks later to follow their appointments. Where are they? Nobody knows. Did they give the real name? No. My experience, I'd say 80%, because of the years I worked there and what I saw, what I encountered, about 80% of the illegal aliens give you a fictitious name. They never give you the real name. They never carry any documents. So how do you know who they are? So all these families, I guarantee you, all of those names are fictitious. They'll resurface. If amnesty is granted, they'll resurface. But they're going to resurface under another name. So anyway, they went ahead and released them. Over 70% of them were here. The problem with that, when they released them, they gave them authorization. And they can use that authorization for social services. So welcome aboard. I found their statements to be very interesting from the Border Patrol when they were encountering, and they are still encountering, a lot of this youth that are gang members. Chris Cabrera, Vice President of the National Border Patrol Council in the Rio Grande Valley, said that confirmed gang members in Mexico, including those from the Mara Salvatrucha, you know who they are, right? That's not a very nice gang, is it? The Salvatruchas? Very vicious. Are coming into the country to be reunited with their families. If he is a confirmed gang member in his own country, why are we letting them in here? I have heard people come in and say, you're going to let me go. Just like you let my mother go. Just like you let my sister go. You're going to let me go as well, and the government going to take care of us. No more truer words than that, because we are taken care of. One thing for y'all to think about this amnesty, and about the government saying, the administration saying the families cannot be separated. So they're going to be able to bring their families, possibly grandmothers, grandfathers. A lot of them are going to be disabled. And as soon as they come here, they are legal. They'll be able to apply for the benefits and be taken care of and be given a monthly payment. So it's not what Mr. Obama says, that it is not costing the taxpayer anything. It is costing us an arm and a leg. And we need to do something. I had more information, but I think my time is running out. But before I finish, I've been telling you all of these negative things. There is something. What can we do? What can we do as a group? Should we just turn around and walk away and not do anything? We can do something. One, call your representatives, whether they're state or federal level. Tell them to implement E-Verify. Anybody, are you all familiar with E-Verify, Sheriff? E-Verify, what it will do, they fill out an application, they'll be able to check the Social Security number with that name that was written, and Social Security is going to come back and say yes or no. Yes, that number belongs to that person, or no. That way that person won't be hired. The other thing, and I wish I would have had time to hit it, birthright. Anchor babies. You all have heard that terminology? Anchor baby? We need to do something. Did you know that out of the industrialized world, only 2 industrialized nations right now accept birth of land? Those 2 countries are us and Canada. No other country allows anybody being born within their borders from illegal aliens to be citizens of that country. The way our present administration is, one of those children are born here, the parents can stay here, because how can we split them? How can we send them back? We need to do something. Call your representatives, tell them to co-sponsor H.R. 140, House Resolution 140. Tell them to co-sponsor it. We need to stop this. In my career, we apprehended ladies that were giving birth inside our Border Patrol cars. They were giving birth inside the detention cells in El Paso. Why? Because as soon as that child is born, now they have a string. Secondly, they can apply for welfare for that child. So tell them, co-sponsor. It's about time for us to do something. Not even England has this. Ireland did away with it 2 years ago. Let's do away with it. The way the bill is, a child born in the United States, either 2 parents, both parents are U.S. citizens, or 1 parent's a U.S. citizen, 1 is a legal alien, or 1 parent's arrested an alien, the other one is an illegal alien, or 1 of the parents is in the military. Other than that, they cannot be U.S. citizens. Okay.
This first question is several pieces. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Where did the information